Here is a approximately 1,500-word romantic short story, written in a cinematic, emotional style. A billionaire stops to fix a single mom's car, only to discover she's the first love he never forgot. The rain came down in thin silver sheets, blurring the highway into a ribbon of gray. Elena Carter stood beside her broken-down car, arms crossed tightly over her chest, trying to shield herself from the cold drizzle and the heavier weight of worry pressing against her ribs. "Mommy, is the car okay?" her daughter Lily asked from the backseat, wide brown eyes peering through the fogged window. Elena forced a smile. "It just needs a minute, sweetheart." She knew that wasn't true. The old sedan had given up with a final cough and shudder, steam rising from under the hood like a surrender flag. Her phone battery sat at 4%. The nearest town was miles away, and the babysitter was expecting her hours ago. Elena exhaled slowly, reminding herself she'd survived worse. A sleek black car slowed behind her. She stiffened. Years of learning to rely only on herself had taught her to be cautious. But the car didn't pass. Instead, it pulled onto the shoulder, rain barely touching its polished surface. The driver's door opened. A tall man stepped out, dressed simply in dark slacks and a charcoal coat. He looked completely out of place on the wet roadside, like someone who belonged in boardrooms, not broken-down highways. "Looks like you could use some help," he said, voice calm and steady. Elena hesitated. "I don't want to be a bother." "It wouldn't be," he replied. "I know my way around engines." She studied him quickly. He had strong hands, a confident stance, and kind eyes. Against her better judgment, she nodded. "Thank you." He popped the hood and leaned in, rain darkening his hair. Elena watched him for a moment before her breath caught. That profile, that familiar tilt of the jaw. Her heart skipped, then slammed hard against her chest. No, it couldn't be. The man straightened and turned toward her, and the world seemed to tilt. Elena," he said quietly, her name, spoken in that voice. She felt 16 again, standing barefoot on a lake dock, laughing until her stomach hurt. Falling in love for the first time. "Marcus," she whispered. Marcus Hale blinked, disbelief flashing across his face. "I thought," he stopped, swallowing hard. "I thought I'd never see you again." Rain fell between them, but neither noticed. Marcus Hale, tech billionaire, media favorite, one of the youngest self-made CEOs in the country, and the boy who once promised her forever beneath a sky full of stars. "I didn't recognize you at first," Elena said softly. "It's been a long time." 10 years, Marcus replied. Not a day less. Silence stretched, thick with everything unsaid. Lily's door creaked open. "Mommy." Marcus's gaze shifted, and landed on the little girl. Something changed in his expression. "Is she my daughter?" Elena said quickly. "Lily, this is an old friend." Lily smiled shyly. "Hi." Marcus crouched to her level. "Hi, Lily, I'm Marcus." She giggled. "You're tall." He laughed, genuine and surprised, and Elena felt something in her chest twist painfully. Marcus closed the hood. "Radiator hose is cracked. I can call for a tow, or I can drive you wherever you need to go." Elena hesitated again. Pride told her no. Exhaustion whispered yes. "I don't want to inconvenience you." "You never were an inconvenience," Marcus said gently. "Not then, not now." She nodded. Inside his car, everything was warm and quiet. Lily fell asleep within minutes. Elena stared out the window as Marcus drove, the city lights growing brighter ahead. "I heard you became, well," she gestured vaguely. Marcus smiled faintly. "Rich." She laughed despite herself. "Famous." "Empty," he corrected, softly. She turned to him. "What?" "I built companies, empires. But I lost something important along the way." He glanced at her. "I lost you." Her chest tightened. "You left, Marcus." "I know." Regret shadowed his eyes. "And it's the biggest mistake I ever made." They reached her small apartment complex. Marcus stepped out, opened her door, and carried Lily inside without hesitation. Elena watched him tuck her daughter into bed, smoothing her hair with a tenderness that made her throat ache. "You're good with her," Elena said quietly. Marcus straightened. "I always wanted kids." She nodded. "I didn't plan on doing it alone." Silence again. "I looked for you," Marcus said suddenly. "After college. After my first company took off. You were gone. I had to leave," Elena replied. "Life didn't turn out the way I thought it would." He stepped closer. "Does it ever?" They stood inches apart, memories flooding back, late night talks, shared dreams, first heartbreaks. "I'm not that girl anymore," Elena said softly. "I'm tired. I have responsibilities." I'm not asking you to be who you were, Marcus replied. I'm asking if I can get to know who you are now. Her eyes filled. Why? Because I never stopped loving you. The words landed gently, and shattered every wall she'd built. Tears slipped down her cheeks. I don't know if I'm strong enough. Marcus reached out, brushing them away. You already are. Weeks passed. Marcus fixed more than her car. He showed up, with groceries, with patience, with laughter. He listened. He learned Lily's favorite bedtime story. He never rushed, never pressured. One evening, as Lily slept between them on the couch, Elena finally rested her head on Marcus's shoulder. I was afraid you'd leave again, she whispered. He kissed her hair. I'm not going anywhere. Months later, Marcus stood in a small park, not in a suit, but in jeans, kneeling in the grass. Elena Carter, he said, voice shaking, you were my first love. And you are my forever. Will you marry me? Tears streamed freely as she nodded. Yes. Lily clapped. Does that mean I get two parents? Marcus smiled at her. If you'll have me. She ran into his arms. The billionaire had stopped to fix a broken car. Instead, he found the family, and the love, he'd been searching for all along. If you'd like a more dramatic version, a shorter viral story, or a series-style continuation, just tell me Blue Heart.